What's going on, guys? Today I have some really good news regarding the second stimulus check debacle, the unemployment extension, and the most recent stimulus package update. Yesterday, Mitch McConnell revealed his $500 billion stimulus package, that aka skinny bill. I talked about this last night. I also addressed this in the video this morning. I'll link to both of those videos down in the description box below so you can go and watch that. But in this bill, there was no funding for a second stimulus check, which President Trump was not happy about. I mentioned again in this video, I mentioned in the video this morning and last night that this was a big deal. But I want to explain what is going on right now. And this is really good news. Multiple reports are stating that President Trump is demanding stimulus checks, and he is currently determining what legally he can authorize. This is huge news. This is very big. I stated this last night and this morning as well, that President Trump has went from urging Congress to demanding stimulus checks. No more asking. He is telling them to issue stimulus checks. Now, I've said this many times and many experts believe this as well. President Trump has the ability to spend the roughly $300 billion for stimulus checks as long as he is repurposing the money from the Economic Stabilization Fund. And this is a report from the Washington Post. I'm not just finding this on some random YouTube channel. Okay, this is actually a report from the Washington Post. The Washington Post is usually fairly credible. So, I think that's really good news. Now, not only would President Trump use the money for a second stimulus check, he would also have about $50 to $60 billion left over from that fund. That the Economic Stabilization Fund was, I believe, $470 billion. They have about $300 billion of it still left. It would take roughly $250 billion for stimulus checks. It would be anywhere from $230 to $250 billion. And that would be a $1,200 stimulus check to all filers, and $1,200 to their spouse, and then $500 to all dependents. So that is good news. The bad news is, if you have an ITIN number, you would not receive a stimulus check. And I believe as of right now, if you have any unpaid child support, you would not receive a stimulus check there either. So that it is good news that there will be a stimulus check issued, and this could be coming as soon within the next couple of weeks. Based on what I've been reading, President Trump wants to see what happens tomorrow if the Senate actually passes this skinny bill. If they do, it's unknown as to what the next steps will be, but President Trump wants to take different actions. He wants to do some type of executive order, and this is probably what's going to be in it. Currently, again, like I said, the White House is looking to spend the additional funds on, or the $300 billion on a second stimulus check, unemployment extension, and airline funding. Probably thinking, airlines, why do I care about airlines? It's not a big deal, and I believe as long as the American people get their money first, that should be the initial bailout. The airlines, if it comes later on and they get a little handout, that's fine with me, as long as the people get the funds first. Now, Stephen Moore, he's an outside economic advisor for the White House. He said this earlier today. Trump would like to do another flurry of executive orders that would jumpstart the economy. Again, that's really good news. Now this, like I said, is really good news, as the skinny bill that we received yesterday was more of a slap in the face to most Americans. Now, I understand what Republicans are trying to do with this skinny bill, and I understand the long game behind it, but I doubt it works this close to an election. If the election was not coming up in 55 days, I bet this would have worked, but their strategy is not going to work as they plan. Again, right now it's estimated that a second stimulus check will cost anywhere from $230 to $250 billion. That means, let's just assume it costs on the higher end, $250 billion. That means there would be an additional $50 billion left over. Based on all the numbers that I've read, based on what FEMA currently used for their unemployment enhancement, they use roughly $44 billion, and that means people in all states will get roughly 5 weeks of that $300 unemployment extension. So if we go off a similar number, if we use $40 billion from that additional $50 billion fund that we have left over, that means every single American would get anywhere from 4 to 5 weeks worth of unemployment. The cool thing is, the nice thing is, it takes about $8.4 billion per week. So we have about 4 to 5 weeks worth of funding. The nice thing about this is there would still be $10 billion left over for airlines. That's more than enough to prop them up to keep people working for a little bit longer. Now, I know some people don't care about airlines, and I get it. The truth is, I do care about airlines because, for one, I'm an investor in some airlines. So yes, I do look at that, but that is second. That is second to none because, not second to none, but that's second. I don't really worry about that. My worry is the American people. Yes, I have money in it. It's tied up, whatever. Okay, who cares? Okay, I'm not gonna die if my money just goes away. It's there, right? Who cares? But the American people need the money first. Airlines, yes, they are important. They impact all of us. However, they should not have priority over everybody else. It should be the American people first, and then businesses follow. Now, like I said, the true bailout needs to come to the American people, not to the airline first. And I think this is where some Republicans get it backwards. They try to help out all the businesses, and I am a business owner. I have multiple businesses. So I love that I get all these credits and all this, good stuff because I own businesses and real estate and stocks and all these assets. But the problem is the people that don't own that stuff, they get nothing. So the bailout needs to go to the people first and then the businesses. Now, like I said, this is going to draw out a little bit longer. Hopefully we receive word. Hopefully President Trump does something very soon. But like I said, it's probably going to happen within the next couple of weeks. In other news, Nancy Pelosi is already saying that they've won. Nancy Pelosi says this: in 8 weeks, we will be celebrating the election of Joe Biden. So she's already planning on a win, which is not good for the American people. And it's not looking very good for stimulus money. I say this because if Nancy Pelosi, if Democrats believe that they have already won the election's in the bag, and they don't believe Republicans are coming back, then they will not allow a stimulus package to get passed no matter what. Because if they do, it will actually boost the Republican numbers. Now, many experts believe that Democrats truly want a stimulus package, but not until July. That's a huge problem because most people cannot wait until July for another stimulus negotiation. They can't wait because the executive orders, that eviction extension, that expires at the end of December. The unemployment boost, that expires, probably any second, any minute. And so really, even if President Trump does another executive order for the unemployment enhancement, and it goes another 5 weeks, that will push us into October. It won't push us into January. So there's going to be a lot of people hurting come December and January. Now, if no stimulus is passed and Democrat sweep, that means they are gaining control over the White House. They gain control over the Senate, and they remain in control over the House. If this happens, then some experts believe we can see an even larger stimulus package than the $3.4 trillion HEROES Act. And in most cases, many of these experts believe this $3.4 trillion HEROES Act will need to be reassessed because some of the things inside this bill will not actually be relevant come January. It's already been, 115 days since they passed this. So it's coming to the point where some of the stuff in here is not relevant to today. So there you have it. That is your second stimulus check update and stimulus package news for today. If you missed my video yesterday where I show you how to get free money without a stimulus check, go and watch that. I'll link to that video down in the description box below as well, so you can go and check that out. But in that video, I show you a very easy, simple, and proven way to make anywhere from $50 to $100 every single day without spending any money. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, go and watch that so I can actually help you out. All right, guys, so there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully, if anything, this video helped you by keeping you updated without you having to do all the hours and hours of research that I personally have to do. So if you like that I'm spending my time to keep you updated, do me a favor, like always, go ahead, smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe so you stay updated on all things stimulus and how to make money online, and I'll see you guys on the next one.